Evan Hale stepped off the human shuttle and felt the ground of Velrana under his boots. The air was clean, warmer than Earth, and filled with a soft golden glow from the twin suns above. He looked around the landing area, trying to understand how a simple technician like him ended up chosen for a peace mission. He was not a diplomat, not a soldier commander, not someone important. He fixed machines, that was all. But the humans needed someone trustworthy, someone who did not look dangerous, someone who would not accidentally start another conflict with the alien kingdom. Evan was chosen because he was calm, harmless in appearance, and always honest. Too honest sometimes. Alien warriors surrounded him as soon as he stepped down. They were tall, almost glowing, with smooth armor that looked alive. Their eyes were bright, sharp like crystal edges, and their hair moved like strands of light. Evan felt very small among them. A female warrior stepped forward, her eyes the color of deep violet. "Human Evan Hale," she said in a clear voice. "The Queen waits for you. Follow us." Evan nodded nervously. Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am." The warriors exchanged confused looks. They were not used to humans who talked too casually, but they turned and began to walk toward the tall palace rising in the distance. As they walked, Evan's heart kept beating faster. He had studied pictures of Queen Sarilith. She was known for her strength, and her people believed she carried the power of ancient stars. Evan had seen her face only in holograms, but even those made him feel strangely nervous. Her expression was sharp, calm, fearless. He wondered if a simple human like him could even survive standing in front of someone like her. Velrana's capital was beautiful. White crystal towers, wide roads that glowed softly, bridges that curved like ribbons. Everything felt alive, like the entire city breathed with them. But Evan could barely admire the beauty. His legs were shaking a little. He kept telling himself not to say anything stupid in front of the Queen. When they reached the huge palace doors, the two guards bowed and opened them. The hall inside was wide and shining, with lines of alien nobles standing on both sides. All eyes turned to Evan as he walked in. He felt like a tiny insect in a room full of giants. At the end of the hall was the throne, smooth, glowing, and shaped like wings, and on it sat Queen Sarilith. The moment Evan saw her, he froze. She was tall and graceful, her skin glowing faintly like moonlit water. Her hair flowed behind her like silver fire. Her eyes were bright gold, watching every movement with focus and calm. Even the air around her felt different, like she carried a field of energy that pulled everything toward her. Evan swallowed. His brain blanked. One of the warriors stepped forward and bowed. "My queen, the human representative has arrived." Sarilith stood slowly from her throne. She moved with the confidence of someone who never doubted her own power. When she stepped forward, the nobles lowered their heads. Evan tried to look respectful, but he only managed to look awkward. The Queen stopped in front of him. She was close enough that he could see the faint patterns glowing across her skin, like starlight running through her veins. "You are the human called Evan Hale," she said. Her voice was soft but strong, like music made of metal and wind. Evan straightened. "Yes, that's me, Evan Hale, technician. I fix, things." The Queen tilted her head a little. "Your voice trembles. Are you afraid?" "Yes," Evan blurted out before he could stop himself. "Very afraid." A quiet laugh spread through the hall. Even a few nobles smiled. The Queen, however, kept watching him with calm eyes. "You humans speak openly," Sarilith said. "This is good. I prefer truth." Evan nodded quickly. "Yes, I'm very honest. Too honest sometimes. People say I should stop talking sometimes. But I don't know how, because when I see something, I just say..." And then he made the worst mistake of his life. He looked at her glowing skin, her bright eyes, the strange beauty she carried like a living star, and without thinking, the words slipped out. "You're beautiful." The hall went silent. Every alien froze as if time itself stopped. Warriors stiffened, nobles gasped, some even stepped back. Humans did not compliment the queen, not because it was forbidden, but because aliens believed only a fearless heart could speak about the queen's appearance. Evan's face turned red. His soul almost left his body. He wanted to fall on the ground and disappear into the floor. He raised his hands in panic. I didn't mean, I didn't say, wait, I did say it, but I didn't mean to. I did mean it, but please don't vaporize me." Another wave of shocked whispers filled the hall. A human telling the queen not to vaporize him? No alien would dare joke like that. But Queen Sarilith did not look angry. She stepped closer, studying Evan's face carefully. She looked at him the way someone might look at a rare object, something surprising, something they had never seen before. "You spoke those words in fear," she said softly. "And yet, they were true." Evan swallowed. Yes?" The queen's expression changed slightly. Not anger, not amusement. Something deeper, something thoughtful. "On Velrana, honest words spoken in fear reveal the heart," she said. "Only those with natural courage can speak truth even when afraid." Evan's breath caught. He had no idea what she was talking about. Sarilith turned to her warriors. "Bring the blade of choosing." The warriors gasped. Even the nobles stepped back with shock. Evan felt his stomach twist. Whatever this blade was, it didn't sound safe. A warrior brought a long, glowing blade with ancient patterns. The queen took it and raised it toward Evan. "Human," she said, her voice echoing across the hall, "your honesty shows leadership, your courage shows strength, and your words—" She paused as if choosing wisely. "Your words reveal a heart that does not lie, even by accident." Evan held up his hands again. "Please wait. I was just nervous. I didn't mean to reveal anything." The queen ignored him. The blade glowed brighter. A soft golden wind moved through the hall. Nobles knelt, warriors bowed. Then the queen announced in a strong voice, "By ancient law, by truth spoken without shield, I appoint Evan Hale, human of Earth, as the new leader of my third army." Evan almost passed out. The hall erupted into shocked whispers. Some warriors looked offended. Some looked impressed. Some looked confused, but none dared question the queen. Evan shook his head quickly. "No, no, no, please wait. I'm not a leader. I'm a technician. I fix broken scanners. I fix doors. I fix coffee machines. I don't lead armies." But Sarilith lowered the glowing blade and touched it gently to his shoulder. A cool wave of energy ran through him. His hands stopped shaking. His breath slowed. "You spoke truth to a queen," she said. "You cannot step back from this path now." The ceremony ended, and Evan was taken to the training grounds. A group of alien warriors waited for him. Tall, proud, powerful, all watching him with doubtful eyes. Evan felt like fainting again. The tallest warrior stepped forward. "You are our new commander? You look small." Evan shrugged. "I feel small too." The warrior blinked. She had never heard a commander speak so openly. She studied him carefully. Finally, she nodded with a small smile. "Then let us begin, human leader." Training was exhausting. Evan quickly learned that Velrana warriors were incredibly strong, but followed very predictable patterns. Their battle style was ancient, powerful, but easy to guess once he understood it. By the end of the first week, Evan had shown them how humans used simple but clever tricks: quick movement, low attacks, teamwork, distraction. Aliens were surprised how effective these were. Slowly, their doubts began to fade. Each evening, Evan was brought to Queen Sarilith for a progress report. At first, he stood awkwardly, unsure how to talk to her, but she asked gentle questions. What do humans fear? What gives humans courage? What is humor? Why do you say strange things when nervous? Why do humans see beauty in things others ignore? Evan tried his best to answer, but he always felt the Queen's eyes on him, watching with a strange softness he couldn't understand. One night, she asked quietly, "Why did you call me beautiful?" Evan nearly choked. "It just came out. I didn't mean to. I did think it, but I wasn't trying to." But she lifted her hand, stopping him. "On my throne I am feared, respected, obeyed, but no one has spoken to me as you did." She looked away slightly. "Honesty can be a rare gift." Evan stood there silently, unsure what to say. He wasn't trying to give gifts. He just said things without thinking. The Queen turned back to him. "You are different from my people, human. That difference may save us." Before Evan could ask what she meant, a loud alarm echoed through the palace. Doors shook. Warriors rushed into the hall. A soldier bowed with panic. "My queen! The Crack's dominion is moving toward our borders. Their ships are entering our space." Evan felt his blood run cold. Crack's dominion. He had heard the name. They were cruel, merciless, known for taking worlds by force. Queen Saralith looked at Evan with calm but heavy eyes. "The time has come. You were chosen by truth. Now you must lead by it." Evan's lips parted slightly. He whispered, "Me? Lead? Against them?" "You will not stand alone," she said, "but you must guide those who follow you." Outside, the sky shook with the sound of battleships moving. The entire planet prepared for war, and the Queen stood in front of Evan, her eyes shining like two golden suns. "Your words began this path, human. Now walk it with courage." Part 1 ends with Evan stepping forward as alarms ring across Velrana, realizing he must lead an alien army into a war he never planned for. Evan Hale stood at the edge of the training ground, looking at the soldiers arrayed before him. Hundreds of Velrana warriors, tall and glowing, waited silently, their weapons gleaming under the twin suns. The Crack's Dominion fleet was moving closer to the planet, and the Queen's words echoed in his mind. "Your words began this path, human. Now walk it with courage." Evan swallowed hard. He was still just a technician from Earth. He knew about computers, engines, and fixing broken things. But leading an alien army, that was far beyond anything he had ever imagined. But the Queen had trusted him, and now the lives of thousands depended on his choices. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. "All right," he said, his voice shaking at first but growing steadier. "Listen up. I know this is strange for you. Most of you have trained for centuries in the same way. But we don't have centuries. We have hours. We need to fight smart, not just strong." The warriors looked at him, some with doubt, some with curiosity. A few whispered to each other in the alien language, their glowing eyes narrowing. Evan pointed to the hills outside the city. "The Cracks will come straight at us. They think we'll stand in lines like statues. We won't. We'll split into small groups, hit them fast, and use the terrain. Use every hill, every valley, every building as cover. Keep moving. Keep striking. If they can't predict us, we control the fight." A tall warrior named Calith stepped forward. He was skeptical, his golden eyes flicking between Evan and the other soldiers. "And you, human, know what fighting thousands of Cracks looks like?" Evan nodded. "I've read the battle reports. I've studied tactics. I've never fought in space myself, but I know how to think in battle. Trust me, we can do this." The soldiers murmured among themselves, some still doubtful, but some intrigued. Even Calith nodded slowly. There was something different about Evan, something about his honesty, his calm under pressure, and his refusal to hide fear. It gave them a strange kind of hope. Over the next hours, Evan worked tirelessly. He organized drills, taught the warriors how to fight in smaller units, and showed them ways to use the city and the surrounding terrain to their advantage. At first, the warriors struggled. They were used to charging as one massive force, relying on strength and centuries of tradition. Evan's methods seemed strange, even weak. But slowly they began to see the results. The simulations he ran showed how the cracks would underestimate smaller, faster groups. His soldiers were moving in ways they had never imagined, striking where the enemy would not expect, retreating before the attack could hit back. The younger warriors were the quickest to adapt, and soon the older ones joined in, impressed by the results. Queen Sarilith observed every session, her expression unreadable. She would sometimes approach Evan afterward, asking questions. "Why do humans adapt so quickly?" she asked once. "Because we think differently," Evan said, wiping sweat from his forehead. "We don't rely on tradition. We rely on what works. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we succeed, but we learn fast." Sarilith nodded slowly. "That is why your people survive in a galaxy that often does not forgive weakness." As the sun set behind the crystal towers, the alarm sounded again. The Crack's fleet had reached orbit. Huge ships, black and angular, moved like shadows across the skies. Sirens blared, and the city prepared for the invasion. Evan rode a small hovering platform alongside Calith, moving across the battlefield where soldiers were taking positions. He could feel the tension in the air, the fear and determination of the warriors. He had trained them, taught them strategies, and yet he knew nothing would prepare him for the first moments of battle. Then the Crack's ships opened fire. Laser beams cut across the sky, some hitting buildings, some striking the ground. Explosions rocked the ground as soldiers fell into cover. The Velrana army had never faced an enemy like this. The Cracks were not just strong, they were ruthless, calculated, and relentless. Evan shouted orders, moving between groups of soldiers. "Split into units. Move behind cover. Flank them from the left. Watch the sky. They'll try to land troops near the city walls." The warriors followed his orders, amazed at the precision and clarity in his commands. They had never seen their army move like this, fast, coordinated, unpredictable. Even Calith was impressed, though he would not admit it aloud. Hours passed in a blur of chaos. Ships fell from the sky, soldiers clashed, and Evan kept moving, making quick decisions. He shielded a small group from a falling blast, redirected units to intercept enemy landings, and even personally took down a Crack soldier who had tried to sneak behind their lines. Finally, the Cracks tried to target the Queen herself. Sarilith was standing on a raised platform, directing her forces, when a massive blast struck near her. Soldiers rushed to protect her, but Evan acted faster. He threw himself in front of her, using a shield generator to absorb the impact. Sparks flew, but the Queen remained unharmed. "You risked your life for me," Sarilith said later, once they were both safe. Her golden eyes shone with something Evan could not name. "I risked my life for all of us," Evan said. "Your life is important, but so is everyone else's." The battle continued into the night. Using Evan's strategies, the Velrana army turned the tide. Crack soldiers fell to unexpected ambushes, their formations broken, their attacks scattered. Even the elite Crack's commanders struggled to adapt to the new style of battle. By dawn, the Crack's dominion retreated. Their ships left the skies, their soldiers fleeing back to their fleet. The city was battered, but the army had survived. The people of Velrana came out of hiding, cheering, amazed that their planet had not fallen. Evan stood amidst the ruins, exhausted but alive. The soldiers he had led approached, their faces filled with respect. Calith stepped forward, lowering his head slightly in a gesture of acknowledgement. "You have led us well, human," he said. "We doubted you at first. Now, we follow you without question." Evan nodded, still catching his breath. I just did what I thought was right. The queen appeared then, stepping through the smoke and dust, her presence still commanding even after the chaos. She stopped in front of him, her golden eyes meeting his. "You have proven yourself," she said. "Not because you are human, but because you are honest, brave, and wise. My army respects you, my people respect you, and I respect you." Evan's heart raced. He had never felt such a mixture of awe and fear in his life. "I didn't mean to. I never thought this would happen. I was just honest." The queen smiled faintly. "Your honesty chose this path for you. Your courage confirmed it. And now, Evan Hale, you are not just a leader. You are part of Velrana's future." The soldiers around them cheered, raising their weapons in salute. Even the nobles nodded, acknowledging the human who had changed the course of their world. Evan looked at the queen, and for the first time, he felt that maybe he belonged here. Not because he was powerful, not because he had always known what to do, but because he had spoken truth and acted with courage, even when he had been afraid. Sarilith walked beside him, calm and proud. "You did not intend to compliment me," she said softly. "And yet, your words started everything. Never forget that, human." "I won't," Evan said, smiling slightly. "I never planned to lead an army. But I guess sometimes life surprises you." The queen nodded. "It does, and sometimes it rewards honesty. Come, Evan, we have work to do. The planet must rebuild and my armies must prepare. But I know now that with you we can face anything." Evan felt a warmth in his chest, a mix of relief, pride, and a strange sense of belonging. He looked around at the soldiers, the city, the alien landscape, and then at the queen walking beside him. For the first time in his life, he felt that maybe, just maybe, a human could make a difference in an alien world. And as the twin suns rose higher, painting the city in gold and pink light, Evan Hale understood that his journey had only just begun. The Crack's dominion might return, new threats might rise, and battles might come. But for now, a simple human from Earth had changed the fate of an entire civilization. And in that moment, he smiled, ready for whatever came next.